Well, it's the 27th of December out here, and it's this guy's birthday today. And yeah, anyway, another issue on this car while he was up that we didn't get addressed on Christmas night was a loss of brake fluid. And fortunately we have a dual master here, so he still had front brakes, but common thing here is down in here under the pedals, the brake line's probably rusted out right in here. It's a common thing for them to leak down in here, and so that's what we're doing now. Got to replace this brake line from the master cylinder to the back here underneath the car. Runs along the hump there. So we got the seat out and back seat out, and we're off the ground quite a ways, and we're gonna start tearing this apart, and once we get her blocked up and replace that brake line. It's all about the video. So basically you got to pull the line off down under here, if I can see, get some light in there. There we go. Here's the little hold this guy for a second. Yes. Yeah, alright, right there's good. Alright. So if I can see this bastard. Okay. So you gotta pull the line off that little guy in the back here. You can see it's disconnected there. And then the other end is and you got to pull the line off of the son of a bitch. Okay, and you got to pull the line off the master cylinder there, making sure you pull the right one, and it's the one on the right there. Will it focus? Yeah, you got to focus worth of shit. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, you got to pull that line off right there on the right side. It's the one that goes down, loops back, and goes through the firewall or the front bulkhead thing here into the car. So you take those two ends off. Then the chore is to put a new line in and get all the bends correct so you don't rub on anything, and get it all hooked up and bleed the brakes. So that's where we're at.
Part, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some bending.
They come in a package. I just bought a kit. Happened to buy the kit for the 66. Figured I'd use the other parts that we didn't need another day, and if we needed something that wasn't in it, I'd probably have it laying around. But so I got to get it straightened out so we can get it fished through this car, and then yeah, make the proper bends. These tubes they sell are actually a double wall, which is why you're able to bend them without kinking them. That's the way they're made. So they're actually kind of a tube in a tube.
So what's the difference between like a 66 kit for one of these lines? And
my guess is that the 66 kit has the shorter ones for the rear, because this 67 has long axles in it. They're I think, I don't know, inch and a half or more longer on each side on the rear.
Cool.
Cool, he says. Well, we had a misdiagnosis here, and apparently the master cylinder is leaking out at the piston end, and fortunately, digging around here, I had a dual master on the shelf, so we're good. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and to do the master cylinder down under here, I've always found it's easier to go ahead and just pull the gas tank up and out of the way and work down through the hole. So that's what we're going to do here. And I'm going to attempt to get the master loose without taking the pedals out of the car. If I can get to the two bolts that hold it, we'll be able to just pull it back out of the way there. And then just slip it right back on. So we'll see what's up here. But anyway, we're going to pull that tank up out of there. Apparently he's only got, yeah, he's got quarter of a tank of gas, so we'll be able to just pull that up and move it aside there and work down through the hole. Alright, well here's the nightmare at this point. We're in here. You can see the new line sticking through there. And then you'll see a little zip tie there on a piece of fuel line. And then I slice the fuel line in a spiral around it so I can slip it around the tube and then shove it through the firewall there. That way, you know, instead of a little bushing, I use that chunk of fuel line as a bushing, and it's a hollow double wall thing. So then we put a zip tie on each side. It won't pull back out of there. And that's generally how what I use for bushings around wiring and that kind of thing in these cars, is a piece of fuel line cut and put through. Anyway, so that's where we're at now. We got to kind of get that brake line into its basic shape in here. It's run from the rear to the front, and then we can put the new master in there and go for a bleed job. All the lines and stuff are in now, and go ahead and put fluid in. These are not tight yet, these lines. We're going to let them put fluid in, let gravity take its course until fluid comes out down there. And once they're dripping down below there, we'll go ahead and tighten them up, and then we can commence to bleeding this thing. But when you're putting fluid in, the air's got to get out somewhere, so that'll be the place. While we're at it here, we're going to go ahead and adjust the brakes. And yeah, so he's doing that business right now. I think he's got his tongue held in the right position. Another thing on these dual masters, they have two brake light sending units down here, and we're going to go ahead and test them both while we're doing this. They're redundant, so we'll hook one up, make sure the brake lights work, and then unhook it, and then hook the other one up and make sure the brake lights work. That way we know that both those switches are good. If either one of them works, you got brake lights, so it's a good thing to check while you got all this business. Well, brakes all bled, adjusted, and yeah, seem to be good to go here. Check the light switches, adjusted front wheel bearings. We did notice, however, that I do need to put an inner tie rod in on the passenger side, but that's another day. So another trip. Gives him an excuse to come up and visit his old man. Anyway, so happy birthday. Alright, all back together, seats in it. Gonna check the air pressure on the tires, which are gonna get replaced here soon anyway. And it's got to load about 500 pounds worth of crap in the back of it, and then he's ready to rock and roll. So yeah, brake line and master cylinder change, and happy birthday there. One more wave.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Well, it's a little after 8 now. We got some puddles of brake fluid on the floor. I'll get that cleaned up, and it's all over now but the crying. Kid's gone. He's going to go visit his grandpa before he heads back home, and I gotta bring old Jimmy back in here, but he's got good brakes and he's a happy guy. So thanks for watching.